above. And so the key, the core, the center of our whole religion is to enable the Jesus of our time, to enable the Muhammad of our time, to enable the Adam, the Moses of our time, to take them as our king, as our pope, as our Dalai Lama, as our imam, as our Mahdi, our guide. And that is what the religion is about. The Ark of the Covenant is at the center because it was meant to demonstrate the fact that this used to be the house of the Almighty, the house of God. And the Muslims also have a house of God, just like the Jews did with the Ark of the Covenant. And the house of God is also a square-shaped or cube-shaped, and it is the Kaaba that they call the house of God, the Bayt of Allah. And in reality, these are all allegories, they're references, they're reminders, they're symbols to the fact that the true house of God is the Caliph of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It is the Adam of the time. And when God created Adam, He created him to be His house. And there's even narrations from Muhammad and the family of Muhammad that state that there is nothing on the earth. There's no temple, there's no mosque, there's no house, there's no synagogue that can contain the Spirit of God. His only house, the only house that can contain Him is the heart of mankind. And for that reason, God dwelt, His Spirit was blown into the heart of Adam and the heart of the successors of Adam in every day and age. And the pilgrimage that we are to make in reality is a pilgrimage to the Caliph of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And we were taught this as a symbol that we're supposed to migrate to the Kaaba, but in reality what was meant by that was to migrate to the Caliph of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And that's a topic which we will go over, inshallah, an entire lecture by itself. And so the house of God, the Kaaba, or the Ark of the Covenant, is really the Caliph of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, who is supposed to sit on the throne of the earth, and He is the voice of God that speaks to Moses and that speaks to mankind in every day and age. And it's interesting too, because you have this depiction of the throne that's there in between these two angels, and you also have narrations from Muhammad and the family of Muhammad that state that when the Qa'im emerges, he will have two angels to his left and to his right, one to his left, one to his right. Gabriel on his right and Michael to his left. And that is in a reference to this scene that you see also at the top of the Ark of the Covenant. On the sides of the Ark of the Covenant, you have the seal of the Dawah, and the seal of Ahmed al-Hassan alayhi salam, and the seal of the Mahdis, and it says on there, Huwa Allah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim al-Wahid al-Qahar. He is Allah, the most beneficent, the most merciful, the one, the conqueror. And then it says on there, at the top of the Star of David, Muhammad, then Ali, then Al-Hassan, and then you have Al-Fatima on the other side, and you have Al-Hussein, and at the bottom you had Al-Qa'im, who is Abdullah, and you have at the center of it, Ahmed al-Hassan, as a sun that is shining, and it has 15 rays on there, each ray representing one of the infallibles until Ahmed al-Hassan alayhi salam. Sallu ala Muhammadin wa ali Muhammad. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. At the front of the basilica here, we have the member. And the member or the platform is where the Imam gives his speeches. And it is it consists of several layers here, and because it is also in a six-pointed shape here or star shape, you have written on the bottom of it Huwa Allah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim al-Wahid al-Qahar on all sides of the member, and then on all sides of the member at the bottom here you have the same names that were on the seal in their exact places, which was Muhammad, Ali, Fatima, Al-Hassan, Al-Hussein, and the Qa'im. And then you have above each and every one of them, you have a hand, and the hand symbolizes, you have 5 hands that symbolize the members of the Ahl al-Kisa, alayhim salam. All of them are right hands because they're the hands of Muhammad Ali and Al-Hassan and Al-Hussein, and you have one left hand that represents Fatima to Zahra, alayhi salam. And then you have on the member here, in Arabic, it is written the will of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam that he gave to Imam Ali, dictated to him on the night of his passing. And you have on the other side, it's in English. On this side, it is in Arabic. And basically, this will is super important and it's core to our entire religion because we believe that it is the determining factor. It is what allows us to be sure and to know that we're on the right path and not on the wrong path. That we are following a true claimant and we're not following a false claimant. That we are the people who kept the covenant versus the people who abandoned the covenant. Because the narrations of Muhammad and the family of Muhammad, they were very explicit about the fact that from the time of Adam, Adam wrote secretly in a will the names of his successors, and he gave it to the believers. And every year they would open up that will of Adam and they would read the names of the successors in anticipation for the arrival of the Savior Noah. And that same sunnah, the sunnah of Allah that never changes, it continued and carried on from one prophet to another, with every prophet naming his successors and his vicegerents that came after him. And just like the Muslims believe, or the Sunni Muslims believe, that Abu Bakr and Umar were so smart and wise because they named their successors that were to come after them, the Holy Prophet Muhammad would have never passed away without leaving a will whereby he names the successors to his nation. And that is exactly what we follow, the will that's written in the books of the Muslims, the only will that names in there the names of the successors of the Prophet Muhammad from his time all the way down to our current time. And in there he mentions Imam Ali as his direct successor, followed by Imam al-Hassan, followed by Imam al-Hussein alayhi salam, followed by Ali Zayn al-Abidin, followed by Muhammad al-Baqir, followed by Ja'far al-Sadiq, followed by Musa Kazim, and then Ali al-Rida, and then Muhammad al-Jawad, and then Ali al-Hadi, and then Hassan al-Askari, until we came to the 12th Imam, Muhammad ibn Hassan al-Askari alayhi salam, the Imam of the time. And then it says that after that, it goes to his successor, and then it names the names of the first 3 successors of the 12th Imam, the first 3 Mahdis, and those are Abdullah, Ahmad, and the third name is Al-Mahdi. And those are the companions of the will. Ahmad al-Hassan alayhi salam, Muhammad, the 12th Imam, is Muhammad ibn Hassan al-Askari alayhi salam. Ahmad is Ahmad al-Hassan the Yamani, and he is the one whom we honor here at the center of our basilica, the one who we named this place after. And Abdullah, who is myself, I've claimed the will. And so this document that we keep here is the document of authority. It is the letter of appointment that no believer can reject and nobody can claim is false, because the Prophet gave a promise on his deathbed. He said, "Let me write down that which, if I give to you, and you hold on to, you will never go astray." So the idea is that if the Prophet was truly a prophet, if his promises are true, then you can never be misguided if you hold on to the names and the claimants of the will of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. That is the power of the document. That is the power of the testament of the will of the Prophet Muhammad. And that is the power of this da'wah. Because there has never been a claimant in the entire history of Islam who has ever claimed to be appointed by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and has managed to show the people any document where their name is mentioned as being appointed on the tongue of the Prophet Muhammad. No other da'wah but this da'wah. And so it follows the sunnah of all the prophets that came before. Just like Jesus said, just like Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said that in the Quran, when he told the people that he was foretold by the Prophet Jesus, مُبَشِّرًا بِرَسُولٍ يَأْتِي مِنْ بَعْدِهِ اسْمُهُ أَحْمَدٌ, and giving glad tidings of a messenger to come after him whose name is Ahmad. Prophet Muhammad said that Jesus foretold my coming. Prophet Muhammad said that his name was mentioned in the Torah. Jesus said his name was mentioned by the Prophet Isaiah, and he quotes the verse. Jesus also mentions that other prophets and messengers had foretold of his coming and mentioned him in their will, most famously the Prophet Moses in his last testament. And as such, the Prophet Muhammad left a list of his successors that Ahmad al-Hassan and myself claim to be from. I hope that you enjoyed the tour, and thank you for tuning in. Assalamu alaikum.